Ever wondered how the financial institutions that serve our communities truly stack up? We often hear about the big national banks, but what about the credit unions, those member-owned cooperatives that prioritize people over profit? Today, we're diving deep into one such institution, Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union. And the big question we're tackling is, just how big are their assets? Now, before we get to the exact numbers, let's take a moment to understand what assets really mean in the context of a financial institution. Think of it like this: if Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union were a person, their assets would be everything they own that has economic value. This includes things like the loans they've issued to members, mortgages, auto loans, personal loans, because these represent money owed to the credit union. It also encompasses their investment portfolio, which might include government bonds, corporate bonds, and other financial instruments. Cash on hand, the buildings and properties they own, and even the equipment they use to run their operations all contribute to their total asset size. Understanding the scale of a financial institution's assets is important for several reasons. For members, it can provide a sense of the credit union's stability and its capacity to serve their financial needs. A larger asset base often suggests a greater ability to offer a wider range of products and services, invest in technology, and weather economic fluctuations. For the broader financial landscape, the collective assets of credit unions like Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union paint a picture of the strength and influence of the credit union movement as a whole, offering a community-focused alternative to traditional banking. Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union has a history rooted in serving a specific community, often tied to a particular profession or geographic area. These institutions are built on the principle of people helping people, where members pool their resources and democratically control the credit union. This fundamental difference in structure often leads to a different approach to customer service and financial product offerings, with a focus on member benefits rather than maximizing shareholder profits. Over the years, Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union has likely grown and evolved, expanding its membership base, the range of services it provides, and consequently, its total assets. This growth can be organic, driven by increased membership and the financial activities of those members, or it can occur through mergers with other credit unions. Each stage of growth reflects the trust and confidence the community places in the institution. So, we've built the context, we understand what assets are and why they matter, and we've touched upon the unique nature of credit unions like Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union. Now, let's get down to the numbers. Pinpointing the exact, real-time asset size of any financial institution requires looking at their official financial reports. These reports are typically released on a quarterly or annual basis and provide a detailed snapshot of the institution's financial health. For credit unions in the United States, this information is often publicly available through regulatory bodies like the National Credit Union Administration, NCUA. The NCUA oversees and regulates federal credit unions, and they often publish data on the financial performance and size of the credit unions they supervise. To find the most up-to-date information on Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union's assets, the best course of action would be to consult the NCUA's official website or Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union's own website, specifically their About Us or Investor Relations, if applicable, sections. These sources will provide the most accurate and recent figures. However, since we're having this conversation right now, and I don't have real-time access to live financial databases, I can provide you with some context based on general knowledge of credit union asset sizes. Credit unions vary significantly in size. Some are small, serving a very specific niche with assets in the tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. Others are much larger, with assets reaching into the billions of dollars. The size of a credit union often reflects the size and economic activity of its membership base and the length of its operating history. Without the precise figure for Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union as of this exact moment, let's explore some potential scenarios and what those asset levels might indicate. If Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union has assets in the range of, say, $500 million to $1 billion, this would suggest a well-established and moderately sized credit union. An asset base of this magnitude typically allows for a good range of financial products, competitive interest rates on loans and deposits, and investment in modern banking technologies like online and mobile banking. A credit union of this size likely has a significant presence in its local community, supporting local businesses and initiatives. If their assets are larger, perhaps in the $1 billion to $5 billion range, this would indicate a substantial credit union with a significant impact on its service area. At this level, they would likely offer a more extensive array of services, potentially including more specialized loan products, wealth management services, and a larger branch network. Their capacity to invest in community development and offer competitive financial solutions would be even greater. Conversely, if their assets are smaller, in the tens or low hundreds of millions of dollars, this would suggest a more community-focused, perhaps niche, credit union. While they might not offer the same breadth of services as larger institutions, they could excel in personalized service and a deep understanding of their specific membership's needs. It's also worth noting that the asset size of a credit union isn't the only indicator of its health or value to its members. Factors like capital adequacy, loan quality, and member satisfaction are equally, if not more, important. A credit union with a strong capital base and low levels of delinquent loans is generally considered financially sound, regardless of its exact asset size. Furthermore, the commitment to member service and community involvement often sets credit unions apart, and these qualitative aspects are not reflected in asset figures alone. To get a more concrete understanding of Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union's scale, we could look at publicly available information from past years. While this won't give us the very latest figure, it can provide a sense of their growth trajectory. For example, if we found reports from a few years ago showing their assets were significantly smaller, it would indicate a period of substantial growth. Conversely, relatively stable asset figures might suggest a more mature and steady institution. Let's consider how one might go about finding this information themselves. A quick search on the NCUA's website for Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union should lead to their profile, which often includes key financial data, including total assets. Similarly, visiting Patriot Bank Federal Credit Union's official website and looking for an annual report, financial information, or about us section could yield the information we're looking for. These documents are often made available to members and the public to ensure transparency and accountability. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.